In this video, we're going to be answering the question, what would you contribute to this department? So this is a question that's usually asked maybe about halfway through, and the way they'll frame it is usually, if we decide that we're going to hire you, what are you going to bring to the department? What would you contribute? How would you make this department better? There's a whole bunch of variations of this question, but this is essentially the same thing that they're asking. So why are they asking this question? Well, it's pretty simple. It's obviously fairly straightforward. Do you possess the knowledge and skills that this particular department is looking for? So in a later slide, I'm going to have a whole bunch of different skills and things that you can think through, that maybe you have some of these skills and maybe you can talk about how you can bring this to this particular department. But it goes without saying that whatever knowledge or skills you claim that you have to be able to back that up. If you're sitting in front of an interview panel of 3, 4, or 5 officers, you're looking probably at decades of experience in the fire service. And with those decades of experience comes a lot of knowledge about a whole bunch of stuff. Firefighters are a pretty diverse group in the sense that you'll get a lot of guys from the trades, you'll get a lot of guys that have a lot of medical knowledge and medical background, you'll get a lot of military guys. You get a lot of people that know a lot of things about a lot of different areas out there. So if you are going to say that you have knowledge or a specialty in some particular area, you better be able to back it up, because I can promise you somebody will call you on it. So what do I mean? If you say that you have some special mechanical skills because you were a mechanic that worked on this, I guarantee you somebody in that department knows a lot more about that than you probably do. And if you get called on it and you find out that you don't actually know what they find out that you don't actually know what you're talking about, it's going to look really, really, really bad for you. So whatever you say that you know about, whatever knowledge or skills you have, make sure you can back it up. So how are you going to answer this? Well, it's pretty straightforward again. Highlight your strengths, skills, experience, and knowledge, but it's also important to be specific about how this can help that department. You don't want to be general. If you haven't noticed a theme in a lot of these questions, you want to be specific about how you can help that particular department. For example, the department I work for, we are right on Lake Erie. So we have a dive team, and we have 2 guys that are part of the county dive team as well. So let's say you have a lot of diving experience before you get hired at my department. And you say, well, I have a lot of experience with water rescues and diving. I grew up here. I did these things. Maybe I was in the military and I was a diver in the military. That's great. That relates specifically to our particular department, because that's something that we may need you to do down the road. So whatever your specific skills are, relate them to that department. So what are some good examples of skills that are needed generally pretty much in every fire department? Mechanical skills. These trucks and these vehicles break all the time. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a truck mechanic. Maybe you just know basic mechanical skills about different vehicles and automobiles. There's somebody else there that probably knows more than you, and they can teach you, but they can kind of take you under their wing as you get started and go from there. Building and construction skills. These are really, really, really important. Quite honestly, I recommend that people that want to get into the fire service at a young age, don't bother with college. Go to trade school. Learn to be an electrician. Learn to be a plumber. Learn, I don't know, to be a carpenter. Those skills are so important in the fire service by sizing up buildings. I mean, the things you can do with that in the fire service are infinite. So maybe you are a carpenter, maybe you're an HVAC guy, whatever. IT and computer skills. As the fire service becomes more and more technologically advanced, just like everything else in our society today, there's going to be a greater and greater need for people that know how to do these things, code things, working with different softwares and programs. And by the way, those things break all the time too. The only thing that breaks more than the trucks is probably the dispatch systems and the radios and all that kind of stuff. There's always things going on, and there's guys probably at every department that's their specialty. Their job is to go learn these programs and fix them when they break. Maybe you're bilingual. Depending on where you live, you might have large populations of people that speak Spanish or Chinese or some other language. You know, obviously this is dependent on where you live and what the demographics of your neighborhood are. But if you're bilingual, talk about that. They're going to probably use you out in the community to reach out to these other groups. Formal education. Formal education can be very good depending on what it is. For example, a guy that I work with is a physician's assistant. If he was already a PA coming into the fire service, talk about that. Say, hey, I'm a physician's assistant. I know we run a lot of EMS calls. My skills and knowledge that's greater than that of your average paramedic could be useful to this department. Finally, this one's a little bit looser, but it could be useful as well, especially depending if this is a big department. Maybe you have a lot of experience in public speaking. Maybe you, in your former career, work for a PR agency or something like that. I don't know. Firefighters are out in the community all the time, teaching CPR classes, fire safety classes, doing school talks to the different elementary, junior high, and high school kids. It's important that fire departments have people that can kind of be the face of the department to go out into the public and interact with people. So, as always, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I try to read and answer every single one of them. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe, like, and share this video, and I will see you in the next one.